Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming and joining us here on this amazing morning we've had. There's been so many sound bites. I'm just kind of like, it's whirling around my brain. And in case you're wondering who I am, I'm Lalita Taylor, and I'm a chief, well, not yet chief, but I'm an exec producer for the BBC. And I'm just so kind of taken by all the words that people have said just before us. And my thanks to the amazing Rupa Dash for inviting me to chair this fireside chat.
Thank you.
So I'm an exec producer with the BBC and co-chair of BBC WeSTEM, which is a staff group, and I represent 700 BBC women in science, technology, engineering, and maths. And I'm delighted and honored to have been invited by the amazing Rupa Dash, founder of Woman Davos Agenda, to moderate this morning's fireside chat with India's foremost human rights advocate, Shri Bharat Lal, who's the Secretary General of the National Human Rights Commission of India, and who is formerly Director General of the National Centre for Good Governance and the Secretary of Lokpal of India. A very warm welcome, Shri Bharat Lal. Welcome, and do take a seat. Your career is phenomenal, and you have achieved much in improving lives for many in India, not least of all, ensuring clean tap water to 140 million households in recent years. I hope you are enjoying your stay in Davos.
Obviously, thank you very much for having me here. And let me thank the World Women Foundation for inviting me, and USSPIF. And yes, it's a lovely place. But let me assure you that the women issue is not pertains only to women. I think we are equally stake, and that's why I'm here.
Good. So this year's World Economic Forum theme is rebuilding trust and covers topics including prosperity, sustainability, and AI, which we will be touching on. I've watched some of your keynotes and have been inspired by your enthusiasm in regards to education. You've taken it one step further. You are focusing on the quality of education and the role partnership plays. How do you think this will change the lives of Indian women?
Well, as all of you know, that India is a country of 1.43 billion people. It means we are talking about 700 million women. And Indian women, I think, two things are very important. A, education to her children. I think we all are here because of education. My mother, got me, And the second thing is home, a peaceful home. I think these are the two driving factors. Keeping this in mind, I think education is the most important thing insofar as the government is concerned. And in 2.5 years back, new education policy has been brought. And this new education policy is basically focusing on not only scientific and rational education, but certain values which India brings on the board, which basically a stable society, a very progressive, a very developmental, a very liberal society. This. And for a country of this size, I think government alone is not, can do all these things. So a policy has been that all partners and private sector has a very important and key role. And what we say, building partnership, working together, impacting lives. So this is the philosophy, this is the motto of the government. Under new education policy, we invite education institution from India and abroad private institution that they should come. And education to poorest of the poor and rich person. It's a universal education, and it's guaranteed under our law. So that is the focus, and you'll be happy to note that as a result in last 9-10 years, number of educational institutions has doubled. And in fact, premier institutions like Indian Institute of Management or Indian Institute of Technology or All India Institute of Medical Sciences, their number also have been doubled. And the most happiest part is that 43% STEM graduates in India are girls.
That's quite an amazing feat, and I do understand that in STEM there is an amazing gender balance and the world has a lot to learn from that. You talk about building partnership, impacting lives, and I'm coming to prosperity now as well. India has, as you say, the largest population, 17% of the world's inhabitants. How do you foresee India's growth potential in prosperity, especially for women?
Let me give one small data to all of you. It might be of some interest. In fact, it took almost 60 years since our independence in 1947, India to become $1 trillion economy. But the next 1 trillion was added in 7 years. In 2014, we became $2 trillion economy. And third trillion was added in 5 years. In 2019, we became $3 trillion economy. And of course, post-COVID, we had certain challenges. And our Prime Minister has very clearly stated that for the next 25 years, India has to become a developed country. What we mean by developed country? That every family should have a decent quality of life, basic facility. And when it comes to prosperity, I think you all know better than me that if we invest in women, if we invest in girls, instead of having one person, one income family, we can have two income. I think it makes sense for all of us. This is the lowest hanging fruit that we are investing on women and girls to enabling environment, skilling, education, safety, security, and above all, basic facilities at home, so that more and more women are able to join workforce. In fact, 2014, only 18% women were in workforce. Today, more than 24. Of course, still is a lot distance has to be traveled, but 24% women now today, have been able to join workforce. So our focus is that create those kind of enabling environment where women are able to join workforce and prosperity is achieved. And that is basically the aim is that if we aim to become less 25 years, $30 trillion economy, I think women has huge role to play in that.
So you've talked about increasing prosperity, making the lives of women better. I'd like to focus a little bit more about the fact that we need to, you have to attract more women into the workforce. Could you tell me a little bit more about building the infrastructure and how you can get women, especially from the rural parts, engaged? Because 25% female engagement in the workforce means that there's still a lot more to be done.
Well, as I said that, of course, we have to travel this distance from 16% to 24%, but it's not sufficient. So a number of steps have been taken. For example, when I'm talking about 1.43 billion people, imagine that in last 3.5 years, 140 million households, or roughly 700 million people have been provided clean tap water connection, or 110 million toilets have been constructed, means 600 million people are using. Our cooking gas, 95 million cooking gas connection have been provided. No. So similarly, a number of schemes I can give. 40 million houses have been constructed that every woman should have. Similarly, at workforce, basically at workplace, a number of steps have been taken for safety, security, and other enabling environment. Like in India, women are given 26 weeks, maternity leave. Even for adoption of child, women are given, that kind of maternity leave. So idea is that you create that kind of enabling environment. And B, one figure I'll give. We have been able to sanction roughly 460 million small loans so that women can start their own enterprise. And 63% loans have gone to women. 63% loans have gone to women. Today, 99,000 startups are there. And majority of the startups are basically, women, $30 billion startups. This majority is there. Like in our boardrooms, in our companies, one female director is compulsory. Our missile program, you'll be happy to note that our missile program, this Moonshot today, I was looking at the title of this program. Our mission is headed by a woman scientist. So I think that kind of enabling environment, In India, 50% seats in local self-governments are reserved for women. And as on date, certain seats are vacant, but 46%. Imagine 1.2 million representative. Women are 46%. What we are trying to do? Develop responsible and responsive leadership at local level. And next step is that 33% seats in our parliament and state legislature have been reserved now for women, So I think we are creating that kind of environment where women can play a critical role and more important role and leadership role. And we have moved from women empowerment to women-led development. Women at center stage. If you see every walk of life where women are given, as a conscious effort is being made that women are given important place to take it forward.
Could you tell me a little bit more of your concept of leapfrogging?
Well, see, it's very, very, very simple, Today in a family, and give me just two pictures I'll give, In a family there is suppose one male member is working. If we are able to bring good education, which we are working, skilling, and enabling environment, both at home as well as workplace. So at home, what we are trying to do that all basic amenities without any discrimination, no one is left out. Whether it's water or cooking gas or electricity or digital connection or banking facilities, financial inclusion, we are trying to provide that, this thing. At workplace, safety, security, and enabling environment. Third is that financial support to women. Our banking institution and our financial institution are geared to provide all kind of facilities, to women. Fourthly is that if women are having children and family, again the enabling environment to raise family and raise children, so that she is able to contribute. Now what we are aiming is that next 3 years, we are in position to become $5 trillion economy. And this can be achieved. We are roughly $3.8 trillion economy. This can be achieved if women participation in workforce, we are able to double in next 5 years from 24% to 50%. So the leapfrog factor is that if we are in position to do all these kind of things, which we are successfully doing it, that is the very, very simple goal that if India has to progress, India has to increase its per capita income from $2,800 to $12,500. There is no choice except to invest on women, provide that enabling environment, and strengthen that.
Okay, so this is something that's very close to my heart as co-chair of BBC Wisdom's group. India is a leading light in the digital revolution. And a question asked here a year ago was, how will the Indian government ensure that women and girls are part of this revolution?
As I mentioned, that in every walk of life, if you go to India, and I invite all of you, in some occasion, please visit, If you go to India, you will not find any kind of discrimination, actually. That's one thing I'm very proud of. In fact, when our constitution makers in 1947, when Indian constitution was being made, when many countries of Europe or in US, women didn't have voting rights. And imagine India was given women were given voting rights in 1947. Let me give two examples. There is a lady, Dr. Hansal Mehta. In 1948, when the Universal Declaration of Human Rights is being drafted, it was Hansal Mehta who brought this phrase, all human beings are equal, rather than only all men are equal. It was Lakshmi Menon who provided that, that no discrimination take place in Universal Human Rights Declaration. So today what is happening in India, and this churning is taking place. If you see in leadership position, our minister, imagine our defense minister was a woman. Today finance minister in India is a woman. Our women and child development and textile minister is here, she is a woman, So you will find that our president, she is a woman. Our last speaker was a woman. In fact, a conscious effort was made that 25% cabinet members should be, women, because we're. So there is a ongoing, you can say a long-drawn project which is going on in the right direction. And second part is that whatever women need. Take one example I'll give that in India, one scheme was launched, Ayushman Bharat. What is this scheme? That you can go to any hospital anywhere. and government will bear the cost. This kind of, take digital physical infrastructure. I think I'm very proud of that today. India's digital physical infrastructure is anywhere among best in the world. When we take banking, facilities, 460 million bank accounts have been opened in 1 year. And again, 68% accounts are women accounts. So I think that kind of effort is being made so that women and girls are having a very important role. And idea is that they should be able to realize their full potential. See, idea, every part of the government, there is a consensus among political parties, as well as administrator and the civil society, that we have to create that kind of enabling environment where our daughters, our sisters, they are in position to realize their full potential, and that thing is happening in India. This kind of transformation is taking place in the country. Please appreciate 43% girls are passing out from STEM stream. The whole IT sector, there is a Apple factory, in Chennai, all manned by women, girls. 100% girls are in that factory. That kind of transformation is taking place.
So what's your last thoughts? What do you want to leave us with? Of course, transformation has been a huge enabling thing that you've created for India. So what would you like to leave us with?
Well, I appreciate the enormity of this question, actually, to be very frank. But 2-3 things I would like to say. I think looking at this audience here, let me repeat that this is not only your issue. I think this issue, women empowerment, creating enabling environment where women are able to realize their full potential is the issue of each and every one of us. So next time, please invite more male members here. This is my first suggestion.
Well,
second thing, worldwide, not only in India, worldwide, you are on move. And please occupy your rightful position. Don't give up. And please appreciate that the society, there could be aberration here and there. I think whole world want this thing. There could be aberration, I do appreciate it. But I have seen in India from grassroots level, from district admission up to highest level. I think conscious effort is being made. And yes, you have to work for it. We all have to work for it. And I think world is waiting for you to make contribution. And the contribution, government and other machinery has to ensure that that kind of facilitative and enabling environment is provided. So I see a better future, a better tomorrow. And I think a lot of progress has been made, at least in my lifetime. I have seen in the last 30 years and 35, 40 years working. I have seen the kind of progress we have been able to make. So wish you all good luck, and thank you for having me here to World Women Foundation and USSPIF. I'm grateful. And thank you all very much for your patient hearing. Thank you.
Yes, and we'd like to say thank you for being with us and being so generous in sharing your knowledge and insights and actually cheerleading us for our space on the moon. So sadly, time has run out, and I want to invite Rupa Dash because there is something that she'd like to present.
Thank you, Lalita. Thank you for having me here, and wonderful talking to you. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Lalita. And sir, thank you for joining us from all the way from India. And you are our hero. We wanted to appreciate. But since we have such an international audience, maybe it will be worth saying a few words. Why having Mr. Bharat Lal is so important to reimagine equality's moonshot, but also to reimagine the new global order. One of the core values of the World Women Foundation is gender harmony. If we truly want equality, dignity, and progress for women, we need men allyship to lead the new era of equality and harmony. And Mr. Bharat Lal has been the voice for not only for women in India, but his transformation has uplifted women in India and also have put women in charge of change, which is why we are excited to present you the Global Voice Award honoree on behalf of the World Women Foundation. However, I would like to invite one of my favorite people, Dr. Mukesh Agit, for making this happen. Without him, it is impossible to get you here from India. So can I have you on stage? So, is Asha, also, one of the fierce voices from India, and Asha Motwani from the Asha Motwani Jadeja Foundation.
Welcome. Glad you made it.
Can we look at that camera, please? Thank you.
See, men are dictated by women, always. Thank you.
Thank you,
sir.
thank you, thank you so much for
indeed.
joining.
Thank you.
Yes.